The skies of Ukraine remain unsettled. Missiles and drones continue to strike cities, and battles on the front lines show no sign of ending. Yet, amid the smoke and devastation, a new hope has emerged: Sweden's Gripen fighter jet. According to Aerotime, Ukraine's Deputy Defense Minister, Lieutenant General Ivan Havrilyuk, declared that one day these aircraft will fly over Ukrainian skies. For Kyiv, the Gripen is more than just a fighter jet. It is a symbol of survival and the possibility of countering Russia's overwhelming air dominance. But Sweden's answer is firm. The Gripen will only be considered for delivery after the war is over. This is the core dilemma. Ukraine needs modern fighters now, but its partners are holding back. Why? Since the beginning of Russia's full-scale invasion in 2022, Ukraine has repeatedly pleaded for Western fighter aircraft. Their Soviet-era MiG-29s and Su-27s have struggled against Russia's Su-35s and even the stealth-capable Su-57s. That is why Kyiv pushed for F-16s from the United States, Mirage 2000s from France, and now Gripens from Sweden. Reuters reported that in 2023, President Volodymyr Zelensky discussed Gripen directly with Sweden's Prime Minister during a visit to Stockholm. And that same year, Sweden allowed Ukrainian pilots to undergo familiarization training on the Gripen platform, but no concrete decision was made. Then came a turning point in May 2024. According to Reuters, Sweden announced it would pause plans to deliver Gripen jets to Ukraine after pressure from Western allies. The reason was clear. NATO wanted Ukraine to focus first on integrating the F-16, ensuring logistics and interoperability would not become too complicated. Euractiv reported that donor states feared Ukraine could be overwhelmed by operating too many different fighter systems at once. Still, the Gripen never left the conversation. The Aviationist reported in September 2025 that Ukraine continues to list Gripen among the fighter jets it anticipates, along with the F-16 and Mirage. Ukraine Independent confirmed that no formal agreement has been signed, but negotiations are still ongoing. Meanwhile, Sweden itself is undergoing a major political transformation. In 2023 to 2024, it accelerated its accession to NATO, a direct response to Russia's aggression in Eastern Europe. Now, as a brand new NATO member, Sweden's decision on sending modern jets carries heavy geopolitical weight. For Russia, such a move would be seen as direct escalation. So, why does Ukraine want Gripen so badly? Because this aircraft is not only modern, it is designed for survival. Developed by Saab in the 1980s, the Gripen was built to be agile, affordable to operate, and lethal when needed. According to Jane's Defense Weekly, Gripen was designed to take off from highways or short strips, making it ideal for countries that could lose their air bases in wartime. This characteristic makes it particularly suitable for Ukraine, where runways are frequent targets of Russian missile strikes. But not all Gripens are the same. The CD variant is already in service in countries such as Hungary, the Czech Republic, and South Africa. It is light, powered by the Volvo RM12 engine, but has limited range and payload. The EF variant, however, is a leap forward. It is powered by the General Electric F414G engine, equipped with the Raven ES-05 AESA radar, resistant to jamming, and features state-of-the-art electronic warfare systems capable of detecting, deceiving, and jamming enemy radars. It can carry the Meteor long-range air-to-air missile, the IRIS-T short-range missile, precision-guided bombs, and even cruise missiles. Aerotime noted that analysts view the Gripen EF as one of the most suitable jets for Ukraine due to its flexibility and relatively low operational costs, roughly a third of an F-35's. But challenges loom. If Ukraine were to receive Gripens in addition to F-16s, the logistical burden would increase dramatically. Janes underlined that maintaining different supply chains for training pilots, mechanics, spare parts, and weapons integration would impose enormous strain. Kyiv Independent further reported that Stockholm remains cautious, unwilling to appear as if it is directly provoking Russia. Political risk is significant, since Moscow has repeatedly warned that the delivery of Western fighter jets will be treated as escalation. If Gripens were deployed in Ukraine, Moscow might retaliate with intensified strikes on military infrastructure or escalate its rhetoric towards Sweden. Time itself is also a problem. The phrase "after the war" is vague. Does that mean after a ceasefire? After a negotiated settlement? Or only after Ukraine achieves full victory? The war zone observed that such ambiguity makes the Gripen promise sound symbolic rather than practical, yet there is another reason Ukraine continues to raise this issue. The war zone noted that even discussing Gripen has psychological effects. For Ukrainian soldiers at the front, the image of advanced Swedish jets flying overhead boosts morale. For Russia, the very rumor is a reminder that Western support will not stop. If Gripen eventually arrives, the impact will be far-reaching. For Ukraine, it could dramatically enhance its air defense and offensive capabilities. The aircraft's ability to operate from improvised airstrips would complicate Russia's targeting efforts, making it harder to cripple the Ukraine's air force. For Russia, Gripen would be perceived as a direct threat, potentially leading to new rounds of diplomatic confrontation or military escalation. For Sweden, the decision would be a defining moment. As a new NATO member, sending Gripen would demonstrate a commitment to European security, but also expose Stockholm to direct hostility from Moscow. For Europe, Gripen deliveries could set a precedent, non-American states daring to send their most advanced fighter jets to an active war zone. This could shift the balance of global arms transfers, breaking old taboos about providing high-end aircraft during ongoing conflicts. But if the Gripen promise never materializes, disappointment could be equally profound. Kyiv Independent warned that prolonged delays or unfulfilled promises may weaken Ukraine's trust in its allies. It would test Western credibility, showing whether rhetorical pledges translate into real action. Ultimately, the Gripen remains an enigma. For Ukraine, it is hope. For Sweden, it's a political gamble. For Russia, it is a threat. On paper, Gripen could be a game changer. In reality, political hesitation weighs heavier than any missile payload. The biggest question still lingers in the skies. Will the world ever see Gripens flying in Ukraine, or will they remain a promise written only in media reports? Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe Sweden will dare to deliver Gripens before the war ends, or will it wait until the conflict is truly over? And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more dramatic analysis of global conflicts.